Okay, well, so my announcements are one, Washington County Fiber Tour is coming up April 23rd and 24th. They have a whole website, WashingtonCountyFiberTour.org. Great name, huh? And Facebook and Instagram. But to get the scoop, go to WashingtonCountyFiberTour.org. And of course, as you all will see, you're going to say, well, why can't I see Elaine's farm? And what about Carol's farm? Because they are our neighbors. They aren't in Washington County. They're on the other side of the river, which is like a imaginary wall. There's a bridge. Don't worry.
It's the river that divides us.
I know. So don't worry, friends. If you come up, you can still go to Carol's farm. Elaine, is your farm going to be open?
On that weekend, I hadn't thought about it, but sitting here now, yeah, I will be.
You may as well, put a sign down at the end of the road and put a couple of posts on Instagram so people who are watching can find you. Because if they're coming up anyhow, they may as well go by you and Carol. And that's a nice route from exit 16 to go to you and then go to Carol.
Yeah, that'll be great.
Hop, skip, and jump.
That's right.
Okay.
And Carol, congratulations on your new babies.
Isn't that exciting?
That is.
White ewe lambs, OPP free. So exciting.
Well, and the fact that they're huge.
Yes.
And did you say it's a new mother?
New mother, first time mom.
Nice.
We bought these two because we needed to buy a ram that was OPP free. So we bought another sheep with it. So they've spent the summer together. That's why she's early.
Oh, it's summer love.
Summer love, yes.
But nice and healthy and everything's good.
Yeah, I haven't even seen them yet. I haven't been home to see them, but after this, I'm going to go.
You should come around because Carol got her hair done today. That's where she was.
Well, I'm working on getting Hannah on. I'll come around later.
Because that's where she was when all this happened.
All right.
Okay, so I still have more announcements. I'm sorry to take up all the beginning time with announcements, but I do have more announcements. And we're going to Maryland.
Yes!
It's Carol's first time with her own booth.
Yes!
And the Battenkill Fibers booth, which was going to be a little empty without Carol sharing it, is going to be filled right up with lovely items from Lily Marsh Studios, who's weaving up a storm of lovely lightweight summer shawls and stoles. And then our friend Hannah, our director of marketing, Hannah, and her books, Slow Knitting, a seasonal slow knitting, and all her back issues that she can fit in her car of by hand cereal. So we're going to have a lot of good stuff in our booth at Maryland. We're taking a truck in case you all are bringing us fiber. I have a short list of people who are bringing us fiber, and each one of them is like over 100 pounds.
Oh, that's exciting.
We're really starting to fill this truck, but don't be shy. And of course, Battenkill Fibers are the sponsors of the fleece show.
Cool! I did not know that.
Yes. And so I'm hoping to maybe get my hands on a few fleeces while I'm there.
Yeah.
We have that beautiful Perrindale that we got.
That was so pretty.
From Maryland Sheep and Wool Contact. There's going to be more Perrindale there that I'd really like to snag. You hand spinners should take it first. But if there's any left.
I think I finally got her.
You got Hannah?
There she is.
Like Mrs. Maisel, rabbi.
So
I don't
sorry.
know what happened.
It just gets, I think sometimes the Instagram is just not very technically picky. And so I'm like sitting here touching the button over and over, request to join. And it's like, I might do it. I might not do it today. We'll see. That's why it's better to have the guest in first.
Yes. So Hannah, while you were working on getting in, I was telling folks that they can meet you here at the mill at Washington County Fiber Tour or in our booth at Maryland Sheep and Wool, and that you'll have copies of your book at both places.
I will. I'm really excited to bring everything up and get to meet everybody. I'm very excited about
I can't believe how soon that is.
I know.
I can't believe my dear customer, Ann Hansen, who Bare Naked Wolves has been a really good customer of ours since we didn't really have commercial customers. She and her crew are fabulous to work with, and we're honored they entrust us with some yarns. Here is what we're shipping to them today that you're going to be able to see at their booth in Maryland, not my booth. But I'm so excited for you all to know this is coming. It's a lace weight mohair blend. And this is just so, Carol's going to show it to full effect. So I want you all to put that on your list. Talk about summer knitting at its finest.
It is gorgeous.
It's shining. Look at it.
My bag is open just in case it should fall in.
In case it falls, her bag is next to the camera. And I'm not a huge lace knitter, but this has got so much squish and body.
Yeah, it really is lovely.
You know, I did that shawl with that La Bien on Me helix.
Yeah.
This is a very similar.
Yes.
So not only do you have Anne's beautiful patterns to choose from, but you could also look up any of those La Bien on Me's that use the single strand of helix.
Yeah.
It's just a fabulous yarn. The white will also dye very nicely if white alone is not enough. So I think we're almost at the end of our announcements. We had one more piece of news, and that is our customer, Wing and a Prayer Farm, had their yarn picked up by our friend Andrea Mowry, Drea Renee Knits, and it's used in her new Attune shawl. And of course, Carol and I are now trying to figure out.
I'm going to go home and pull some hand spun out. I think there's enough for both of us to make one.
So we're going to have, Carol's going to use her own yarn for both colors.
Right.
So it's a two-color, one with kind of a hand spun and one with a solid. And I'm thinking of using Oysters and Pearls in the BFL, which we'll have at Maryland, in an indigo with Carol's hand spun. So we'll have more to report
next week. MJ will probably have it half done by then.
Well, I don't know about that, but I did finish my sweater.
Right.
Okay, so enough with the announcements.
Yeah.
Are we ready to do an official introduction?
Yep.
Okay, well then, here we go. Elaine, yeah, you're up. We're going to just ask you some basic questions and let you tell us how you got into farming and more.
Sounds good. How did I get into it? So, I'll start with, I got into it with the Washington County Fiber Tour. I went and saw alpaca farms and fell in love with alpacas, came home and said, I want 3 alpacas. And my husband said, figure out how to make a business out of it. So that's how I got into alpacas.
And I know your husband. In fact, that's how I knew you first. I've known Chuck for 30 years, I guess. For people who don't know me, I used to work in the forest products industry, and Chuck Gerber is a consulting forester. So imagine my surprise when I realized that Chuck Gerber was hiding a 70-animal flock out behind his woodshed.
They're hard to hide.
And we are hidden. We're very hidden. The herd is hard to see because you've been here. You don't see us from the road.
No, you really don't. You see the log pile.
You do see turn left at the wood pile.
Yeah.
So if anybody's going to come visit during Washington County Fiber Tour, turn left at the wood pile, follow your GPS and turn left at the wood pile. It works. People figure it out. So that's how I got into alpacas. It's all your fault.
Elaine, how long have you been doing it?
We have had the farm. We had to clear 10 acres of land because we're all forested, and we had to build a barn. And we put our first alpacas in Thanksgiving weekend 2011.
Wow. Right when I said there's not going to be any noise in this room.
This will kick off in just a minute.
So we just did 10 years this past November.
That's awesome.
Yeah, well, so we really can't hear a thing. Our compressor, we're standing right by our compressor. So
what did you love about alpacas that made you want to go with alpacas, Elaine?
They're so soft and cuddly. I saw them when they were in full fleece, and they just look like little stuffed animals. Even the ugliest alpaca is still cute. And you just touch them. Some of them have such wonderful personalities. I've since learned that the ones that you meet on tours are the ones with wonderful personalities. They hide the rest of them because they're not all wonderful, but they're a calm animal. They're very calm and peaceful and easy to take care of.
I know their fiber comes in like 20, 23, something like that, colors naturally. What's
22
your favorite
black.
alpaca color? The black. I love the
or
black
light
too.
silver gray, or else light silver gray. MJ likes the white.
Well, because we buy everything Elaine doesn't sell to the hand spinners, and that's kind of a funny trade-off because Elaine's fiber is such excellent quality that, you know, I hate to rob her of her stuff she can sell for $1 million a pound to the hand spinners. But then that next tier, we take all that she'll let us have. But in particular, white, beige, and the lightest, a light fawn. And then we take rose gray, gray, and black, because those are the colors that our customers, like with wool, want blended with their wool. Like for years now, we've done that farm up in Keene Valley. They have East Frisians, and they get some of their neighbors' alpaca, but it's not enough. And they want that 30-70 blend, which is really nice. Yeah. That's what Lily's woven all those plaid blankets out of. And East Frisian, who would have thought? Alpaca blend. And that's where we get the alpaca.
The only thing I'll add to that is I have 70 animals. I probably have 20 animals that have fabulous fiber. They're not all fabulous. Some of them are icky.
We just keep trying to improve the flock or herd.
Exactly. But as they get old, they're just like us. As they get old, they get coarse, they get icky.
Yeah, like me.
Yeah.
Like me. I'm like, oh, I can't show my roots.
I'm showing my roots, baby.
It's all good.
Yeah.
So you and Chuck do some shearing, right?
We do. We shear for about 20 alpaca farms, mostly in the Saratoga, Washington, Rensselaer, Albany County area. And we have one in Montgomery just because she's a really nice lady and we like her a lot. And we find the same thing there. We find that some of the alpaca is really nice and some is really cruddy, but we find a lot of people are sticking alpaca fiber in their barn saying, I only have 3 animals. It's not enough to do anything with, which leads into MJ saying, maybe we could get an alpaca fiber pool collection. So that's what we're aiming for getting is everybody that says, oh, I don't know what to do with this fiber because it's been sitting in my barn for 5 years. Hopefully we'll be able to help.
Working on a proposal that she's going to bring to the Hudson Valley Textile Project, which is a nonprofit, and to actually make them be the pool. Yeah. And to create a work group, an alpaca work group in the Hudson Valley, because there's such a concentration of alpacas in the Hudson Valley. And if we could get our hands on all that alpaca and sort it, grade it, class it, it would be cost effective for everybody.
That's been a problem with alpaca for a while, right? I know that the North American Surrey company handles it for Surrey alpacas. I don't know if you're familiar with Liz's work.
I'm not.
It would be exciting to have something really similar for Wakaya, especially specifically in the valley.
So
especially
there are other pools, but they're not specific to our area 1 and 2. They don't do much classing or grading. And so I think it's Elaine's vision that we'd really be making premium yarn with the first really good quality and then developing other products all the way down to boot insoles from the stuff that doesn't have much crimp or much softness.
Exactly. And then that's interesting with the Surreys because Surrey alpacas make up 10% of the alpaca population in the U.S. So you've got 90% that people are saying, geez, what should I do with it? And then for people that don't know, a Surrey alpaca has almost dreadlocks that they flow back and forth, and they're very, very long. And MJ, I don't think you can even spin Surrey at your mill, can you?
We've done it, but it won't hold together to spin by itself.
And it's so long.
Wakaya is good. Wakaya has a lot of nice crimp. You know, you hear this, should we add wool, should we not add wool? Some Wakaya and all Surrey that we see is so straight without crimp that we end up having to add wool or it won't draft properly. But Elaine has bred for true fiber quality, and it's just perfect. It's what everyone should be trying for. And I know it's a challenge because a lot of growers end up loving these animals like they're cats and dogs. And so when your cat gets a little tummy and when your dog is starting to go coarse, you don't get rid of your chubby cat or your coarse dog. You still love them, and that it's hard when you love your animals, but they are also an agricultural business, and they got to go, or they certainly shouldn't keep breeding.
When you were raised in the livestock business, it's a whole lot different than as an adult starting. I know
we do eat alpaca. We eat alpaca.
Yes.
And Peru is their main protein source. And the U.S. model is starting to recognize that alpaca are livestock. And livestock, you just can't have all livestock. Sometimes you need dead stock.
Right.
So,
but, you know,
and it's never done easily.
To the people that have a few in their backyard, that's hard.
It's really
It is. And for the people with a few in their backyard, I would never recommend it because they are. You would never eat your dog either.
Right.
So I get it. Yeah.
But in order for alpaca to be commercially viable, it needs to reach that scale, though, and also that attention to breed quality. But hopefully what we're talking about doing in partnership with the Textile Project is going to address some of that and make it more economically viable, at least.
And help these small farms.
And find them some products.
Right.
Right. And let the general public know, because so few people really know what alpaca is. I was actually talking to somebody that worked with fiber, and they said, oh, alpaca is so rough and scratchy. And I was like, wow.
No.
Yeah, it was. And I was like, and then I found out what they did with the alpaca. And it's like, well, yeah, because you get the bags of garbage because you're just turning it into a product that's not going against someone's skin. But there are people that think alpaca is rough and scratchy.
And it's also how it's spun. That's one service that we offer here is worsted spun. That means it's comb, not cut. And that really makes a big difference in any fiber that doesn't have a lot of crimp or that may not be the finest. That by us combing it into alignment, we're able to get some of those coarse ends tucked in a little bit.
Yes.
And highlight those qualities that the alpaca is so known for, which is like that drape and the softness. Like, it's just like brushing your hair. You know, if you're going to take all your hair straight out of bed and stuff it in a bun, it's not going to be smooth and cute. But if you brush it first.
Yeah.
No,
is that what I need to do?
I think that's what I need to do. A brush.
I don't think you should brush it.
The other thing is, and kudos to MJ, because going back a lot of years when MJ first started her mill, she didn't do alpaca. And I was told, oh, she doesn't do alpaca. And I went and saw the alpaca that MJ, the yarn she created, and they are beautiful alpaca yarns. They're every bit as nice as any mini mill. And actually, I like them better than mini mills, but that's just personal preference. So kudos to you, MJ, because you handle alpaca well.
Well, I don't handle it. You need to give the kudos to my pin drafters because
it goes all the way through.
Yeah, exactly. It's
because
it's fun, beautiful.
Yeah.
But we've learned a lot.
We've
got a lot of tricks for getting it to go through. In fact, we've learned what our absolute favorite alpaca or alpaca blend yarn is. Mm-hmm. And once you have a yarn you love, so we like it as a 3-ply, and we know exactly how many twists per inch to put in the ply, how many to put when we're spinning, if and when we need wool, and we can make it out from sport to Aaron using that method. And those yarns are really quite nice. Yes. And depending on fineness, we match it up with corresponding wool as needed. And so we do have a little bit of a formula now. We have so many people joining and waving, and it's a lot of fun. Thank you all for tuning in. If you're just joining, and I mean like half of you here have just joined in the last 5 minutes, I'm Mary Jean. This is Carol.
Hi.
Here's Hannah,
I'm
our
Elaine.
Director of Marketing. And here's our lovely special guest, Elaine Gerber from Woodland Meadow. And you figured out Alpaca Farm. And we're busy quizzing Elaine on all things alpaca. And so we've learned that she started 10 years ago. Yeah. And look at what she's built. Amazing. Wow.
The big thing with alpacas, there's no lanolin in alpaca. And that makes a huge difference in the way it feels compared to sheep.
It makes a huge difference on our first few processes, too. Because our wash is geared toward getting lanolin out and essentially melting it off with really hot water. And we learned pretty quickly to put a basket of alpaca in really hot water equaled a block of alpaca. A solid block. You could use it for a doorstop when you lift it out of the basket.
We'll have those on the site soon. New alpaca doorstops.
Yeah, it's the latest. Don't leave home without one. But speaking of washing alpaca, another project, why the Hudson Valley Textile Project is showing a lot of interest in Elaine's proposal, is that we are getting a new scouring line. The Textile Project received a grant from Fuse Hub, which is the New York State Manufacturing Extension Center that helps fund innovation in industries. And clearly having commercial scale scouring in New York State, in our region of New York State, is a huge innovation in our textile industry. So we have gotten the grant, we've ordered the equipment, and we're working on a building right now to put it in when the equipment comes.
Not too far away.
No, it's coming. And so Elaine's alpaca can not only be graded, sorted, and warehoused or sent for products, but all of this Hudson Valley alpaca can now get scoured locally and make it just that much more marketable for some alpaca farmers may just want it washed and sent back.
And it makes it and distance to scale of distance, the fact that it's in our backyard. But with the scouring project, that's huge.
Yeah. I just became aware today, for people, I see a lot of the people joining us are not local to our area, but let me just say that we're represented by Assemblymember Carrie Warner, and just this week she's introduced a bill in the New York State Assembly called the New York Textile Act that will provide the New York State Department of Economic Development, which is called Empire State Development, to support in many ways the animal and plant fiber industry. So that'd be linen and hemp too, as well as alpaca, mohair, rabbits, wool, all of us. And there's about 10 different provisions in the new bill. It's very thorough, very well done. And so we're pretty excited and hope that it's in the Committee for Economic Development. After budget is over in April, hopefully they'll start some hearings and we'll all get to go and testify.
Well, I'll see about hunting down a link for that I can put in the comments for us later.
Oh, sure. Carrie, Assemblymember Warner, is working on a press release, and we can use some of her quotes in that as soon as it comes out. She had asked me for a quote earlier today, so it won't be long. So we'll do it all at once. We also have a great photo of Assemblymember Warner here in the mill wearing a jacket that was spun here. The wool was spun here with fiber from Crazy Legs Farm and other Southern Adirondack Fiber Producers Cooperative members. It was dyed here, and then Lily Marsh wove it into a beautiful smooth twill.
It's so gorgeous.
And Christina Collins, also in the Assembly Members District, who's a fashion designer, designed and tailored it.
It's just,
it really is. It's so attractive. We'll be sure to get you that photo, Hannah, to post with the press release.
Yeah, I love that. When that's available, I'll send a newsletter out about it too.
Yeah.
Speaking of things that are coming up, should I tell everybody about our upcoming community Zoom and also our extra event with Elaine?
Yes, our extra event with Elaine is only like a month away, right?
Yeah. So on April 26th, we're having Elaine back for a special Zoom event. This Zoom event is going to be sort of like a registration type event. We'll send out a thing by email for it pretty soon. But essentially, it's a crossover event for our Fiber Partner community and you guys who are watching now, our Fiber Friends community, to learn more about alpacas. So if you've ever been interested in raising alpacas, breeding alpacas, how to skirt, alpaca fiber, learning about grading alpaca fiber, shearing, any of that, we're going to really pick Elaine's brain on all the very specific things on April 26th. She only has 26 days to get ready for
I've been working on it.
I think she's ready.
10 years. I've been working on it for 10 years.
It's going to be amazing. So if you're not already on the Battenkill newsletter, when you go back to our feed, click the link at the top and you'll see a link to join the newsletter. So you get that notification, you get that invitation. Also for our mill community folks, these are manufacturers of yarn, fiber farmers. We have another community Zoom coming up in April on the 12th. And it's going to be really fun. It's going to be all about fiber festivals and fiber shows and fiber events, prepping your booth. Yeah, just all the things. Labeling. We're going to talk a little bit about labeling and branding, showing things off while you're in the booth. So many things going on. If you're not already on our newsletter, you need to be, because it's going to get really exciting really fast.
Yeah, as a labeling thing is really, you see me.
You're going to find out.
Yeah, I don't really like labeling. I like making a sign and putting it on the table. And then at the festival, I chat with people about the yarn, and then I make a deal. And then they're busy writing.
Well, I like you, MJ. That's how I work.
Oh, she's going to correct us, Elaine.
Yeah.
We're not going to be allowed to continue our loosey-goosey method of yarn sales.
All right.
I've driven Carol nuts.
Yeah.
Those days are over, MJ. I'm putting my boot down.
There you go.
Oh, geez. I thought I got rid of one, and here comes a new one. Well, worse than this, my dear partner, David, who does a lot of shows and festivals, like he's the maple cotton candy guy at Rhinebeck. He prices everything, and he gets in our booth, and it drives him nuts.
Yeah.
He says, "What's your price on this?" And he gets out his pricing guide. I said, "No." So finally, he gets yesterday's Baltimore Sun and just sits down in his folding chair.
Waits for his turn to carry wool.
Yeah, that's it. He just reads the paper, buys plants, and carries wool because he's given up on pricing.
Yeah.
So he'll love you, Hannah.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm so excited to get up there in just about as much time as Elaine has to prepare for the alpaca event.
Well,
I think 2 weeks left, but who's counting?
Yes.
April 12th, you're going to train people on how to make a good label.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm really excited about that. And we're also going to roll out some new, we've kind of begun, but I haven't had anyone take us up on it yet, rolling out new label design services. So really excited to help a lot of our fiber farms, yarn producers, anyone who wants help really like brand things the way they've envisioned. Because I think that there's always that idea that you have in your head about what your booth's going to look like, what your yarn presents like, what the customer experience is like when they receive it. But sometimes the reality when you're juggling the farm and dyeing and handling all of the manufacture, it's just too much to like add a label design to
Over
that.
the top.
Yes, now
Over
you
the top.
understand.
I do.
It's not that I don't care about my customers'
Right.
experience.
I
I
know.
just
I know.
don't have enough hours in the day.
Yeah. My husband will sit and label late nights before we load the truck.
Wow. See, mine
Yeah.
just goes there and tries to price it on,
Right.
on site.
Right.
Maybe that's it. He should
He should be labeling.
Yeah, labeling.
He's a label gun, not a sticker gun.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
One of those plastic ones that you punch the letters in one at a time.
Yeah. There you go.
Well, let's turn our attention back to Elaine. I see where it's just
I'm good. I'm enjoying.
it's just about 7 o'clock here, and I want to make sure that our lovely special guest, Elaine from Woodland Meadow Farm, has had a chance to say anything else she wants to say.
All that I will.
How will people find you?
Okay, well, we are on WMFarm.com. WMFalpaca.com. And then this year, I'm just in the beginning stages of trying to figure out how to market. I'm looking at marketing alpaca fiber on the animal for $90 you get the entire fiber. If there are any hand spinners interested, I have some very nice animals. Come claim your animal prior to shearing.
What a great idea.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll go or not, but you know what? I've got animals that people are like, oh, I'd love to have this. And so I'm like, well, you can.
How
So
much fiber are we talking here per animal?
It depends on the animal. I have my Minty, who's a beautiful animal. Her blanket is just under 6 pounds. And then you have her seconds off her neck. She's a huge animal, so she's got a lot of thick, dense fiber, and it's gorgeous. So she'd be a great buy. Then I have some beautiful small animals, but their fiber is exceptional. So it depends on what people are looking for. But on average, the blanket's about 3 to 3.5 pounds.
But I think that's a very fair price. Not to say I'm fixing to start paying that, Elaine.
No, I understand that, but it's, you know what it is, because I find that people will pay $30 a pound, hand spinners will pay $30 a pound, but this way they're getting all the extras with it instead of the blanket.
Yeah. And the full experience of what right from the animal. It's kind of like this Christmas tree thing. We just went to cut our tree this year at a place where 3/4 of the trees were already tagged.
Doesn't that make you crazy?
Well, no, I'm saying what a great marketing scheme. They'd already sold that tree at Columbus Day.
Yes. We learned that the hard way when we went to get a tree and there were no more nice trees left.
Yeah. Well,
this is a total mystery to me. I'm allergic to Christmas trees, and I've never had a real one.
Oh.
And so I'm just like, you go somewhere and you claim your tree and you chop it. It just sounds very magical to me. I know people do it. I know people who do it.
Hannah, I am allergic to trees, hay, dust, dogs, cats. You learn to live with it. I live with a forester. We don't do artificial trees.
Yeah, I mean, this is really my only allergy. It's just evergreen specifically, like heated up.
Okay.
So no woodworking for me. Wow. And no Christmas trees.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was going to invite you to the house, but maybe not.
She lives in a log home.
Me too.
I live in a log house. I'm fine with it. It has to do with the sap. This is a really weird tangent. So
Sap's all gone.
Yeah.
So that's why I like you. My house is also log.
lovely.
So that's what's going with the alpacas. People can call anytime. I am on Instagram. I do not do Facebook well. So go to my website and just call from the website. My phone number, the best thing is call or text. And we do tours. We do all kinds of fun stuff. And we are going to be doing tours where you can hike through the woods with the alpacas. And just
have you done an alpaca birthday yet? Someone in my workout class is having an alpaca birthday.
I'm afraid of all the screaming kids.
Yeah.
Just for me, not the animals. Just for me. I'm like, I don't think so.
They seem so shy. Alpacas just seem very tentative. And when she was telling me she was doing this alpaca birthday, I was like, I don't know who you got to agree to this, but they're going to need like a therapist to come visit their
I really think it depends on how much you handle the animals.
Yes and no, Carol, because some of them, I have one girl, I don't know, MJ, did you meet Cindy Lou Who? She loves kisses.
Oh, yeah.
She loves you to touch her head. She loves to be cuddled. And I have had my alpacas out at my granddaughter's birthday party, but I had to have the kids here anyways. But you are right. Some of them are super wonderful. I have one alpaca that growls at anybody that looks at her. I'm like, she's the only alpaca I've ever heard growl.
That was
So,
it. I heard that growl. I said, I'm here to buy the fiber, and it's
yeah, she's just not a good girl. But yeah, so alpacas. I don't know. Are sheep the same way? Do they all have really different personalities, or
Yeah,
are
they
they?
do. They do. But
Yeah.
the more you handle them, the more they calm down. But even by breed, they're different. So.
Well, my growling girl, you try and handle her and get her to calm down, and I wish you good luck. And if they're pregnant, forget it. You can look at them and they spit at you just because you had the audacity to look at them. So
yeah, who wouldn't?
Right.
Okay, so I think we've reached a low here when we're talking about our wood product allergies.
and that's the alpaca.
Alpacas. We've kind of given away all the beauty secrets and we've moved on to the less attractive.
Yeah.
But there's some key points that you can find Elaine on her website or through Instagram, that she and Carol, even though they're in Saratoga County, will be open for Washington County Fiber Tour, which is April 23rd and 24th. You can find Carol, of course, at fostersheepfarm.com. So you can come. You'll see us all at Maryland. We have events on April 12th. And April 16th, April 26th, April 12th, and April 26th. And I think that's about it. We're getting ready to sign off. I'm sorry for people who are just now joining.
They can catch it later. We're going to have the replay in the feed immediately. You guys will save it and upload it. Yeah, and then tomorrow, I'll clean it all up and make it all fancy. And you can watch it again for anyone who's joining kind of late.
Great.
Okay.
All right.
Elaine, thank you so much for joining
My
us.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh,
Elaine, I can't wait to meet you in person.
I know it. I'm looking forward to it. And you're going to make me label. I don't know how much I'm looking forward to that.
Okay. Well, thanks, everyone. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Bye.
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 Bye.